Super Mario Party Jamboree has recently been released, and the game is already being seen as a really strong entry in the Mario Party series. Wait, what do you mean it came out last month? Guess you could say I'm late to the party. Now, I'll be honest, I've never been the biggest Mario Party player, because I have no friends. But I have at least owned the last few entries in the series and have enjoyed the few games I've played. Now, despite Mario Party Jamboree being out for about a month now, I've only just gotten to play it for the first time over the weekend. I unfortunately don't have much time to play games at the moment, so I'm happy I at least got the chance to try out the game for myself. But after playing the game, I really wanted to make at least one video on it, but I wasn't really sure what to go with. That was until I remembered my main gripe with the game when it was announced. See, my main in all of the Mario spin-off games is Dry Bones. So I was devastated to see that he was not included on this roster. So that got me thinking about what other characters didn't make it in. While Jamboree does have the highest amount of playable characters in the series with a total of 22, it's actually missing a significant amount of characters from across the franchise. Currently, there are 12 characters that are playable in previous Mario Party games that are not playable in Jamboree, though throw a bit of an asterisk on that. So today, I thought it'd be fun to go through who these 12 characters are, which of them I'd want back, and if I think they ever will come back. Normally, I'd say which ones I want to come back as DLC, but we've been coping about Mario Party getting DLC for years, and it's never happened, so whatever. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump right in. Okay, before we start actually going down the list of characters, I just have to make a quick rant about the wacky history of Mario Party rosters. They might just have the most bizarre track record of any Mario spin-off game. I mean, take Mario Kart for example, pretty much every entry just gets more characters than the last. DS and 7 do dip slightly below the previous game, but due to being handheld games, that's fair. Mario Party on the other hand just makes no sense with its character count. It starts strong with 6 characters in both Mario Party 1 and 2, with 2 more getting added in 3. Then Mario Party 4 almost doubles that, bringing it up to 14. Makes sense, it's a jump to a new console, so the character roster probably should get extended. But then Mario Party 5 just got bored and decided to kill 3 people. So despite being on the same console as 4, we only got 11 playable guys. This continued for Mario Party 6, which meant Mario Party 4 had the highest roster count on the GameCube. Now there is a bit of an asterisk on that, but we'll get to that later. Then the roster dips down to its lowest point with only 4 playable characters in Mario Party Advance. Though that dip makes sense because Mario Party Advance is weird. Then moving back up to the GameCube one last time, we have Mario Party 7 with a total of 12 characters. So still not quite on Mario Party 4's level, but still higher than the last 2 GameCube entries. But finally, the crown for the largest Mario Party roster is taken by Mario Party 8 with a grand total of 15 playable characters, only to promptly go back down to 8 on DS. To be fair, another handheld game, but looking at Mario Party 9, we're still below that with a total of 12. Then we stay within a similar range with Island Tour having 10 and 10 having 13. And then we see our newest first placer with a total of 19 characters, Mario Party Star Rush. So I guess being on a handheld doesn't matter then. Oh no wait, sorry, it does matter because Mario Party the top 100 brings us back down to only 8 characters. What? And then to end us off, the Switch Mario Parties might just be the most confusing. Super had a total of 20 characters, but then Thanos decided to make a cameo because Superstars only has 10. Luckily, we have since bounced back to 22, but what was Superstars' problem? So I think it's safe to say that the history of Mario Party characters is a weird one, and that's only going to get more apparent as we see who those missing characters are. Alright, we're gonna go in order of when the character that's missing was introduced. So that means the first on our list here is probably the weirdest character of the bunch. They were introduced in Mario Party 4 and are playable in 5 and 6 as well. The reason this character is so weird is because they have only ever appeared in Mario Party games. They have never once been seen anywhere else in the Mario franchise, so who on earth could this be? Well, let me introduce you to the Koopa Kid. Despite only being playable in the GameCube entries, they have actually appeared in every entry from 1 up until 7 before being murdered. In the franchise, they act as minions for Bowser and even come in a multitude of different colors. Now I should note that their playable status does have a few asterisks attached. For example, in Mario Party 4, he is only playable in Beach Volley Folly. In fact, a lot of characters in that game are exclusive to this mode, which inflated its roster count quite a bit. But by 5 and 6, he was fully playable in the actual game. Now if I were to guess, they were likely made playable so that people who like Bowser could have someone to play as. Despite being the big bad of the Mario series, he's actually only playable in 5 Mario Party games. That's because he's usually a big part of the game board with Bowser spaces and such. But with Mario Party Jamboree, we saw the introduction of the Imposter Bowser. That allows Bowser to still be a part of the game board and be a playable character. So that also means the Koopa Kids don't really have a reason to exist. On top of that, Bowser Jr. Yeah, these guys were created before Bowser Jr. was, so they really don't make much sense to exist now. Bowser Jr. is far more iconic and is currently playable in Jamboree, so in my opinion, the Koopa Kids can stay dead. Now that we got that weirdo out of the way, we can actually look at the characters who have a plausible chance of reappearing at some point. Skipping all the way to Mario Party 7, we've got my boy Dry Bones. He's been playable in 3 different entries, 7, 8, and Super. That makes him one of the 4 characters that were in Super Mario Party that didn't make it to Jamboree, which just makes me angry. I mean, they already have him modeled, probably a good amount of animations they could just rip from Super, why wasn't he added? I mean, come on, you let Monty Mole in instead? I mean, I love Monty Mole, but come on, guys. Dry Bones is one of the most popular characters in the Mario series. I mean, he got 12th place on Shafrilus' Mario poll, so that's gotta count for something. I get they already have a spooky character with Boo and all, but come on, Dry Bones is awesome, I say let him in. I think it is insanely disrespectful to relegate him to just being in the background. Mine in the way. Of the 4 cut super characters, Dry Bones is definitely the most deserving of making a return, and that's only a slightly biased opinion. So of all the cut characters we're going to be seeing today, I think Dry Bones should come back first. Okay, let's get another weird guy in here. This time we're taking a look at Mario Party 8, and this character was only playable in this game. It's everyone's favorite Mario Kart item, the blooper. Despite being one of the series' earliest enemies, it's very rarely playable in spin-off games. That kind of makes sense though, seeing as it is a squid, but it makes whenever the blooper does appear really funny. Just watching him in some of those minigames makes me laugh, and I can't really explain why. As far as I can tell, blooper has only ever been playable in 3 total games, being Mario Party 8, Mario Super Sluggers, and Mario Tennis Aces. Oh wait, how could I forget Dr. Blooper? I think the fact that he is so rare makes when he does appear feel more special. Personally, I'm not begging for him to return, but I'm certainly not opposed to it either. Another character that was introduced in Mario Party 8 is the Hammer Bro. He too is a classic enemy from Super Mario Bros. That surprisingly appears in very little spin-off games. It does have a slightly higher track record than Blooper, but still less than you may expect. In terms of the Mario Party series, he's appeared in 2 entries, 8 and Super Mario Party. Now, as much as I do love Hammer Bros, he's definitely a lower priority to return for me. The Hammer Bro is very similar to just a normal Koopa Troopa, so I think most Hammer Bro fans can survive with just Koopa. I know I may sound like a hypocrite since my most wanted character is Dry Bones, but no. Honestly though, before Mario Party, get this guy in an actual Mario Kart already. Yes, he is in Tour, but he's still not been in an actual mainline entry. I mean, a Paratroopa got in before him, that's just wrong. But now it's time for a bit of an interesting case. This is the only character we're talking about today that is not technically a Mario character. Who could this be? You. It's time to talk about the Miis. This is the final Mario Party 8 character, but you're gonna have to put a bit of an asterisk on that. See, unlike everyone else we've seen so far, they've never been fully playable in a Mario Party game before. You can only use them outside the main game and the extra zone for a few specific minigames. Right off the bat, that is kind of weird, but also not unprecedented, seeing as a similar thing was done with the Miis in games like New Super Mario Bros. U. These minigames have been the only time Miis have become playable across the entire series, which sort of makes me think they won't return anytime soon. I don't even want them to come back that badly anyway. Not that I'm against them, but Miis were definitely a bigger thing in the Wii era, so having them become a mainstay now would be a bit odd. If they do want a customizable character though, then I say absolutely bring the Miis. I do not want whatever these things were to come back. Finally, we can move past Mario Party 8 and into Mario Party 9, which gives us one new character to take a look at. This is actually a pretty major character, being Kamik. Despite how important he is to the mainline series, he too has a bit of a shaky history with spin-off games. I mean, he only just got added to Mario Kart through the Booster Course Pass DLC. Now, he does have a reason to not be on many of the Mario Party rosters, as he's often a host sort of figure. I mean, he is the very first character you actually see in Jamboree. Despite that though, I kind of think that's a lame reason to keep him off the playable roster. They found a workaround for Bowser, and surely they could do the same for him. Maybe just replace Kamik with a different character like Kamela when he's being played, like how Toon Link vanishes on Spirit Tracks and Smash Bros when he's being played as. So while the cut is understandable to an extent, I think he should still come back eventually. I'll place him right under Dry Bones in terms of how much I'd like to see him return. Alright, now it's time for a streak of characters that surprisingly come from one of the handheld entries, Mario Party Star Rush. Now I predict my opinion on this character will be a bit unpopular, but he is another fairly big one, being Diddy Kong. He of course comes from the Donkey Kong Country series and is pretty much Donkey Kong's sidekick. He's a very iconic character who's appeared in several spin-offs like Mario Kart and Smash Bros. The Smash Bros is not really a spin-off, but whatever, you get the point. So him appearing in Mario Party is not too surprising. Alongside Mario Party Star Rush, Diddy Kong was also featured in Super Mario Party. Now I know that he is a very popular character, but to be honest, I've never really been a huge fan of him. I don't even know why, I just kind of see him and shake my head disappointingly. So for me, he's not quite the top of my list for most wanted, but in terms of likelihood, I think he does have a pretty decent shot. Call it coping, but I think Dry Bones probably has the best chance to return, but I'd put Diddy Kong in second place of the characters you talked about so far, though I think they should keep Diddy Kong dead and replace him with Funk. As for the other characters added in Star Rush, we're going to cover them in a speed round. While there are a grand total of 4 of them, they are not that exciting. That's because these characters are Red Toad, Blue Toad, Green Toad, and Yellow Toad. Now yes, Blue Toad is the GOAT, but obviously these characters are absolutely not necessary to return. Also no, Red Toad is not in Jamboree. This right here is a normal Toad, and this is Red Toad. Don't make the mistake. These 4 guys were all only playable in Toad Scramble, which may make it sound like it was a side mode, but no, this was the main mode of Mario Party Star Rush. I don't want to go into all the mechanics of this mode, but the goal is still the same as normal Mario Party, where you're trying to collect the most stars to win. I should also mention that these Toads are the only characters you are able to play as, though you could collect the other members of the roster on the board. Yeah, this was definitely a super weird mode, and it's the main reason I never even bothered picking this game up. Seeing as these guys are just recolors of a character who is already on the roster as well, I see absolutely no reason for them to be brought back. The only way I could see them returning is if they give characters like Yoshi and Shy Guy color variants as well, but polluting the roster with 5 different Toads would be a bit absurd. But as for our final cut character in the Mario Party franchise, we have one of the series' most bizarre choices. This comes to us from Super Mario Party in the form of Pom Pom. Now she is a fairly well-known boss in the series, appearing in games like 3D Land, World, and Mario Maker 2. The weird thing is though, she got into Mario Party before Boom Boom did. He has still not made a single playable appearance, which is super strange since he's far more iconic than Pom Pom. I mean, she's basically just his female variant. Maybe they were planning on having Boom Boom and scrapped him, but keeping Pom Pom at all just feels like a strange choice. But hey, as we've seen throughout this video, the Mario Party franchise is full of strange choices, so I say it fits this franchise pretty well. As for if I'd want her to return, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I definitely think Boom Boom should make an appearance first. Otherwise, I don't think she's a particularly likely character to return compared to the rest, since I cannot recall ever hearing someone say that Pom Pom is their favorite Mario character. She was a fun little experiment, but of the 4 characters cut from Super, I think she's the one I understand the most being removed. But anyways, that's it for this video. Do you consider Thwompeka playable character because of a few minigames and hate me for not mentioning him? Let me know in the comments. Sorry again for the short videos, but I am wrapping up this semester of college and I need to make sure that I am mentally able to survive. Hopefully this was still a pretty interesting look on Mario Party's history. But before we go, I've got to thank my members being B Major 2003, Madzio2, Miss Jade's a Lot, Arson the Raboot, Sir Musty, Ryan D-Scrib, Kid Trunks 15, Belandor, Puggles Are Fun, Trader Mo, Diluted Colors, Cinder CC, Shrugface Woo, Jade Avery, Pruncel Clone, Thank You Reiki, SJ100, Ingenio TM, Gnarled, CW McCain, Tibby, JubeTube Z, Tesseract Maker, Nuclear, Mr. McMahon 5702, I Am Not Denny BG, Sebi, Hippopotamus, Thick Rib, Starfish, Jameson Pageson, Wilbur, Golden Slash 15, Frost, Stuffy Ant, Just Dex, Hezekiah, Concanut, Keep, and Christian Flattery Sequel Edition. But anyways, drive up. So guys, we did it. We reached 250,000 subscribers. 250,000 subscribers and still growing. The fact that we reached this number in such a short amount of time. But seriously, thank you guys so much for 250,000 subscribers. I genuinely never thought I'd be able to do that copy pasta with the right number, and I'm super happy you guys have continued to enjoy the videos. But anyways, drive-ons for Smash, and I'll see you guys next time.